So the 10th match, the Lancashire Premier League 25 over tournament, playing in the 5th season. And we've got the Western Tigers being put to bat by the Blasters. And we've got the openers out there in the middle. Macam team card dia belum. Okay. Some adjustment made to the field. The captain, Tisara, will start proceedings. There's a deep mid-wicket out in the fence and a fine leg fielder. The rest is attacking with a slip. The third man fielder being brought into the 30-yard circle. So Western Tigers, last year's champions. Here we go. The first delivery, beautifully played on the front foot. Great start for the Western Tigers. Bimsara plants his foot and drives on the up. Gets the boundary. What a start for the Western Tigers. Saw the width and gave it a bashing. So Tisara Veerasinghe, the skipper, bowling to Malit. Bimsara on strike. And non-striker Samit Ruberu, another powerful player. Bit of yes and no out there. Thankfully, it wasn't collected cleanly. So 5 runs on the board. First over in progress brings Samit Ruberu on strike. Powerful hitter. Very aggressive batsman, Samit Ruberu. Long on in place. First delivery watchfully played towards the third man region. Should fetch him a couple of runs. Yes. Comfortable 2 to kick off proceedings. There, loud appeal, and he's gone. First wicket for Tisara Veerasinghe, makes the adjustment. Slight bit of movement away from the right-hander, gets the outside edge. A tentative poke by Samit Ribeiro. Wasn't sure whether to come on the front foot. Hangs on the back foot, guides it to the wicket keeper. The first wicket for Tisara Veerasinghe. There we see some movement away from the right-hander. Gets a healthy edge. Well held by the wicket keeper. First wicket for Tisara Veerasinghe. Brings the number 3 batsman Prasad on strike. Left-handed batsman. So 2 left-handers out in the middle for the Western Tigers. Driven to extra cover. No chance of a single. So 7 runs off the first 5 deliveries, a wicket included. Should be called a wide, yes. Bit more effort by Tisara Veerasinghe. Got his radar wrong. Nicely driven, but straight to the mid-off fielder. So end of the first over, 7 for the loss of 1 wicket. Straight away, spin being introduced with Bhatia Hettiarachchi brought into the attack. Right arm off spinner. A slip against the 2 left-handers out there. Goes after the bowling, but doesn't connect cleanly. Tosses it up nicely, driven on the front foot. Bowling with a lot of flight, lot of dip. Bharti Hettiarachchi not afraid to toss it up. He's got a long off and a sweeper cover manning the outfield. No protection out in the deep on the leg side. Nevertheless, he's tossing it up nicely, getting the ball to dip. Stam width on offer, driven towards sweeper cover for a single. Oh, pretty ordinary delivery, called a wide. Nicely bowled to end the over. Just 2 runs off this over so far. 5 deliveries bowled. Second over in progress. 10 for the loss of 1 wicket. Again, foolish played towards the bowler. End of 2. 10 for 1. Tisara will continue. There were 3 fielders out in the deep. The captain realizes in his run up, brings the fine leg to short fine, starts off on beautifully driven on the front foot. 2 bouncers. Lovely hit by Malit Bimsara. Quick hands. Was up there to be hit, but wonderfully hit by Malit Bimsara. Over mid-off. Couple of bounces for a boundary. Immediate response by Tisara Veerasinghe, the skipper. Makes the adjustment and drops mid-off to long off. Brings the sweeper into the circle. This time across the left-hander. Bimsara standing in front of the crease. Leaves it alone. Again, nicely driven, but this time all along the ground. The long off Koshendra runs across, keeps it to a single. Score moves to 15 for the loss of 1 wicket. The 3rd over in progress. Bolton Blasters electing to bowl first. The captain starts the proceedings, this time driven to point. Prasad is yet to get off the mark. He's faced 5 deliveries. This time short outside off stump. Prasad tries to play the cut, misses it completely. So good comeback from Thisara after being dispatched for a boundary. The first delivery. Bit of a way movement and a bit of bounce on the wicket, especially when the fast bowlers hit the seam. There seems to be a slightly softer layer on the top of the wicket, especially with the overnight rain. So end of a good over by Thisara Veerasinghe after being dispatched for a boundary in the first delivery. Came back strongly, ended the over well, and that was a beautiful delivery across the left-hander. So end of 3 overs, 15 for 1. So Bhatia will continue bowling right arm off spin, tosses it up. The newer ball means that the odd delivery can go on with the arm, getting the ball to drop, giving it some air, but bowling with a lot of control. Started off well. This time batsman connects lot straighter, and Malik Bimsara finds that gap in the power play. This time lot straighter. Didn't connect cleanly, but all what mattered is a decent connection is what was required, and in the process gets a boundary. He's done bulk of the scoring, Malik Bimsara. This time nicely played and well fielded at the point region. Good bit of cricket. Bowler. Well fielded, equally well played by Bimsara as well. Quick to pounce on anything fractionally short. This time on the front foot, well bowled. Comes down the track, plays it powerfully along the ground towards mid-on. 20 runs on the board. Bimsara looking to be the aggressor of the two out there. Prasad yet to get off the mark. Just one more delivery left in this over. 4th over in progress. Finishes her off well. 4 overs completed. 20 for the loss of 1 wicket. The skipper Tisera will bowl his third again, angles it across the left-hander. Quick call for a single. Gets Prasad on strike. This time on the pads, will it be called a leg by or yes? So Prasad yet to get off the mark, but most importantly, he's got Malit Bimsara back on strike. 22 for 1. So Tisera runs in. Good delivery. Gets the thickish outside edge towards third man. Tisera runs in again, pitched outside leg stump, no chance of an LBW. The umpire indicates the height as well. Again, a leg by, so Prasad is yet to get off the mark. He's faced 10 deliveries, pressure building. The 5th over in progress. Malit Bimsar on the other hand has started off well. Tisera Veerasinghe is hitting the right length, getting the ball to move away from the left-hander. Wild swing again. Very good bowling by the skipper Tisera Veerasinghe. On the front foot, driven to long off. Sensible batting by Malit Bimsara. Tisera's got into a good groove, hitting the right line and length. End of his third. Western Tigers 25 for the loss of 1 wicket. So end of the first power play, and we've got Bhatia Hettiarachchi to continue bowling his third over. These two bowlers have done well in the first power play to limit the scoring to just 25 runs. Bimsara tries to play that cut, misses it, not overly short, just playing it on the line rather than the length. Bhatia not afraid to toss it, but gets the ball to dip and also skid off the wicket. There's not much of turn, sliding on with the arm. Sixth over in progress. Bhatia has started off well with 2 dot deliveries. Slight adjustment, rightfully done. The sweeper cover being made a bit finer. On the front foot again. Didn't collect it cleanly, but fortunately for him, did the non-striker's stumps. No chance of a single, so 3 dot to start proceedings. Watchfully played by Bimsara. That's a wonderful hit. 3 dot deliveries meant that the batsman had to call the shots. Malit Bimsara used his feet, got to the pitch of the delivery and went ahead with a wonderful lofted off drive. There we see. Beautiful shot. Clears the boundary with ease. Welcome boundary. Gets the total to 31 for the loss of 1 wicket in the 6th over. A steady start as far as Western Tigers are concerned. Adjustment to the field. This time short, quick, and the batsman pounces on it. Previous delivery came down the track. Bowler overcompensated with a shorter delivery. Batsman rocked on to the back foot and played it along the ground. The sweeper cover fielder had no chance of preventing that boundary. So Bimsara has done the bulk of the scoring. He's on 29 of 23 deliveries. Western Tigers 35 for the loss of 1 wicket, the 6th over in progress. Western Tigers are going at a 6 runs per over strike rate. Change of gloves and some refreshment being brought in. Bhatia Hettiarachchi to bowl the final delivery. Watchfully played by Malit Bimsara. End of 6, 35 for 1. So bowling change. Two left-handers out there. Brings another off-spinner into the attack. So Mayura being brought into the attack for the first time. Coming round the wicket. So first runs on the board for Prasad. Brings Malit Bimsara on strike. Again, right on the money. Played on the front foot. Watchfully played by Malit. Mayura Malshan seems to be bowling in the mould of a Mahesh Sekshana. Not much of spin. Bit of mystery. Varying his pace effectively. Bowling to his field and showcasing a lot of control. So far he started off well. Just one of the 4 deliveries is bowled, and the slight change in the field. The inner fielders dropping back into the circle. Played with soft hands, quick single. So 7th over. It's been a very sedate start as far as Western Tigers are concerned. They'll be looking at 180 to a 200 run total. This time takes the inner part of the bat. Tries to loft it over mid-on. Got the inside part of the bat. Just a single. So a tight over bowled by Mayura Malshan. Just 3 runs off that over. 7 overs gone. 38 for 1. Koshendra Fernando will be the fourth bowling change introduced today, and Western Tigers quick single. Good cricket by Western Tigers, taking the quick singles, rotating the strike. Waiting for that loose delivery. The Bolton Blasters have been quite impressive. They bowled tight, not given enough room for the batsman to free their arms. And as we speak, the curse of the commentators, the shorter delivery pounced by Prasad. He's had enough. That was the first short delivery bowled by Koshendra. Those spinners in particular gave enough time for Prasad to rock onto the back foot and play it over the mid-wicket fielder for a 6. That should give him some confidence. Western Tigers 46 for 1. Follows it up with a tossed up delivery. Wild hoik across the line. No harm done in the end. Just a complete swish. Some turn on offer for Koshendra. Nicely bowled again. This time powerfully hit. It was well bowled though. But Prasad equal to the task. The previous delivery he missed it completely. This time little too full meant that Prasad could connect it cleanly. Previous delivery a lot shorter, giving the ball enough time to dip and turn. On that occasion too full, and Prasad powers it over long on for a 6. 2 big hits in that over means Western Tigers are 52 for the loss of 1 wicket. 8th over in progress. 1 more delivery left. So balls found, and Koshendra will continue. Oh, missed out on that occasion. Sliding down the leg. All he needed was to help it around the corner, and he could have fetched another boundary. End of 8 overs, 52 for 1. Nicely played again. Takes a quick single. 9th over in progress. Mayur Amal Shan started off well in the first over. He bowled. There's a bit of mystery around him. Varies his pace. Nicely played towards mid-wicket. Another single. This is good batting by these two. Prasad, after the slow start, has found his range. Nicely driven, but straight to the extra cover fielder. No chance of a run. Malit Bimsara, lovely batsman to watch, especially when he's playing on the front foot. Lovely transfer of weight. This time played with soft hands. Good running. Good cricket overall. Ball wasn't there to be hit. Made the adjustment, played it with soft hands, and good loud early call ensured that the batsman had no trouble in crossing over for a single. Again, powerfully hit straight to the fielder in the deep. Just a single. Prasad looking to be the aggressor. Spend some time out there. Malit Bimsara may be the batsman to bat through. Again, nicely played. Another quick single. Very good running between the wickets. End of 9, 57 for 1. Koshendra went for plenty in the first over, but the captain has kept the faith. Starts off with a good delivery, but equally well played by Malit Bimsara, working it towards the mid-wicket region for a single. Brings Prasad on strike. Prasad cleared the boundary on 2 instances the previous over. Again, nicely bowled this time. Koshendra got the ball to come in with the arm. Comes down the track. Wonderful hit again. Prasad seems to take a liking to Koshendra Fernando. Wasn't up to the pitch of the delivery, but no turn meant Prasad could just free his arms. Went ahead with the shot. Look at that. Came down the track, shorter trajectory, but the balance was key. Picked his spot. Lovely swing of the bat, and the ball was out of here. Small break in play until they find the ball, and we've got refreshments. It's hot out here, and batsman and the fielding team, refreshments out there to keep them hydrated. But a wonderful hit. I think those 3 lusty blows have brought back some momentum to Western Tigers. They look to capitalize on this start they've got. 64 for 1, the 10th over in progress. From this point onwards, I think they can be a lot more adventurous. This time Koshendra fires it in. Doesn't want to give enough air for the batsman to come down the track. He's learnt from the previous over and this over too. The slower you bowl, the free Prasad bats. Fires it again. Thickish outside edge. Up in the air. Gets his man. Koshendra Fernando persisted with that outside off stump line. Adjusted the pace. Bit of turn meant the thickish outside edge and Prasad departs. Bit of chatter out there. Bowler giving the send off. There we see up in the air. Point fielder had no problem. The skipper himself holding on to it. So the second wicket falls. Western Tigers 64 for the loss of 2 wickets. The new batsman, Abdul, has walked in. The fall of the second wicket. One more delivery left in the 10th over. Koshendra, slightly expensive. Given away 21 runs. But most importantly, captured that last wicket to fall. Starts off well, and that should be curtains. First delivery, wicket for Koshendra. Abdul departs. Lovely bit of bowling by Koshendra. Outside off stump. Batsman tried to slide it towards the third man region. Well held by the wicketkeeper. So the third wicket falls. 10 overs, 64 for the loss of 3 wickets. So it'll be Mayur Malshan to continue after the drinks break. 11th over in progress. Bowling his third. Malit Bimsara gets off strike with a single. He's looking to bat through the innings. Got the start that the team required. And we've got Umesh coming in at number 5. Yet to get off the mark. Facing his first delivery. Just a single, gets off strike, gets off the mark as well. Western Tigers moving along nicely. 66 for 3. 2 quick wickets in the previous over. The run rate just above 6 runs per over. Shot there to be hit. Malit misses out on that opportunity. Powers it towards mid-wicket. Good running. Should have been kept for a single, but the running between the wickets has been impressive. Pitches him 2 more runs. Score moves to 68 for 3. Mayur Malshan bowling his third over. This time on the front foot, straight to the fielder. So far, this spell has been right on the money, Mayur Malshan. Needs to finish off this third over. Thickish outside edge. That should get a boundary for Malit Bimsara. Very unfortunate end. Gave a lot of width for the batsman to freeze arm. Played it up pishly. Lucky edge, but most importantly gets himself a boundary. So 11 completed, 72 for 3. Koshendra on a hat-trick. Upish, but safe in the end. So just a single. Left alone outside off stump. Been a steady start, but you can't allow a couple of tight overs considering it's a shortened version of the game. 25 overs, 2 to 3 tight overs, and you will see the run rate plummet. They need a total in excess of 180 runs. Well bowled again by Koshendra. Thickish inside edge will fetch the batsman a couple of runs. Again, straight to the fielder. Tight bowling by Koshendra. End of his third. 12 overs gone. 75 for 3. So Bhatia hit Tiarachi. Right arm off spinner will bowl his fourth. Started off with the new ball. This time powerfully played on the back foot. Misfield out in the deep. Will fetch Umesh a boundary. Should have been fielded cleanly. We see nicely played on the back foot, but that should have been kept under a single. Complete mess of it, and in the process gifts the Western Tigers 3 bonus runs. So the score moves to 79 for 3. Halfway mark. 12.1 overs bowled. This time on the front foot. Bhatia using his height, getting the ball to dip. Occasionally getting the ball to spin, but more often than not getting the ball to go on with the arm. On that occasion too, went on with the arm. So the follow-up deliveries after being gifted a boundary has been very good. 2-dot deliveries. This time on the back foot, played towards long on for a single, brings Malik Bimsar on strike. 80 for 3, the halfway mark. 100 more runs in the remaining 12 overs will get them to that 180 run score. You've got Malik Bimsar striking well and beautifully played towards long off. That long on, that was powerfully hit, but he couldn't find the gap. Wonderful shot by Malik Bimsar. He's on 45 of 44 deliveries. That's a lovely hit. Umesh ends the over with a boundary. It's a good end to the over. 10 runs coming off that over. So at the end of 13, 85 for 3. Bowling change, Tamidu Hettiarachchi, another off spinner into the attack. Should be called a wide. Yes, indeed. Slower. Quick single by Tamidu Hettiarachchi. Should fetch him another. There was no backing up. Some sloppiness creeping into the fielders. Bolton Blasters have done all the hard work in the first half of the game. They need to finish strong. Western Tigers, on the other hand, they've got Malit Bimsar out there. Much will depend on how he bats throughout this innings. Fuller, slower, again driven on the front foot. This time to the extra cover fielder, Tamidu Hettiarachchi, bowling a lot slower, asking the batsman to come after him. There we see again, this time driven nicely all along the ground towards long off. 5 runs off the first 4 deliveries bowled. Again, nicely played. Soft hands. Loud and early call. And that brings Malit on strike. He's on 48 of 46. He's on 49 of 47. It's Umesh on strike. He's on 12 of 10. Lovely shot again. That was driven powerfully towards long off for a single. So 7 runs off that over. Western Tigers 92 for the loss of 3 wickets. End of 14 overs. Bowling change, Lakjeev coming into the attack. Gentle medium pace, Lakjeev Ilupitia. Might be interesting to see at what point Western Tigers will opt for the bowling power play. Batting power play rather, with the part-timers bowling and the Bolton Blasters looking to get through the overs with the part-timers. Might be an interesting ploy if Western Tigers can opt for the power play at the end of 15 overs, especially with Malit out there. He's on 49 of 47 deliveries. Get the momentum going. They are going just above 6 runs per over. 2 big overs in the middle. can shift the momentum, and they've got 8 more overs remaining, and if Malik Bimsara is out there, can certainly flex his arms the next 8 overs. He's got to his 50. Wonderfully played by Malik Bimsara. Started off strongly, then consolidated in the middle, worked the singles, and at the moment for Western Tigers, holding these innings together. Lakji Vilupitia goes on a celebratory run. Batsman unmoved. There was no appeal. The umpires converge. Was there an under edge, and was it cleanly taken? Plenty of high fives from the bowlers, from the Bolton Blasters. Umpire indicating and requesting if there was a bounce in front of the keeper. We'll have to wait and see. So Atif has walked in. Lakjiv Ilupitia, the wicket taker. Gentle medium pace. Batsmen need to generate the power because the bowler doesn't give any pace for the batsman to work with. This time a lot quicker. Beats the batsman Malik Bimsara. He's faced 50 deliveries. Good delivery. So end of a very successful over by Ilupitia. 15 overs gone, 95 for 4. Bowling change. The right-handed batsman has prompted Chanchala Vimalawardena, a left-arm spinner, to be brought into the attack. (95 for 4). 10 more overs left. Nicely bowled. Loud appeal for a stumping. The umpire unmoved. Very well bowled by Chanchala Vimalawardena. Atif looking for a big hit. Tosses it up above the eye line. A cross-batted heave by Atif. Fortunately, missed it completely and the ball was tossed outside off stump. Nicely bowled again, driven towards extra cover field region, fielded cleanly by Lakjiv. It's a good passage of play for the Bolton Blasters. Again, nicely bowled, lofted it, oh, couple of bouncers. Mayura was in with a chance, picked it late, fell short in the end. Now this will be a different battle between Chanchala, the left-arm spinner, against Malik Bimsara. Against the right-handed batsman, he's not afraid to toss it up. But if he opts against Malik Bimsara, I'm pretty certain Malik will go downtown. Loud appeal. The dreaded finger goes up. Big wicket. Chanchala Vimalawardena was held back because the left-handers were out there. Comes into the attack. And the first delivery he bowls to Malik Bimsara gets him out. The big wicket. And Western Tigers are suddenly 96 for 5, and their set batsman has departed. Big wicket for the Bolton Blasters. Western Tigers losing another wicket in quick succession. The two set batsmen back in the hut. Bimsara departs for a well-compiled half-century. Suddenly, Western Tigers are under the cosh. There we see nicely bowled. The in-between length, you're not sure whether to come forward or back. Hung in there. Didn't want to look at the umpire. Good over by Chanchala Vimalavardhana. Brings the captain Shakur Yunus out there into the middle. An inside edge, couple of runs, just a single. The wicket keeper runs across, keeps it under a run. So successful over comes to an end. Western Tigers 97 for 5. Ilupitia will continue bowling to Shakur. Outside off stump. Misses it. No chance of a single. Again outside off stump. This is good bowling by Ilupitia. Doing the basics right. Should have been stopped. Now about the other guilty party. Gives a single and brings Atif on strike. A lovely passage of play if you're a Bolton Blasters fan. They've brought back some semblance into this first innings. With some tight overs and some quick wickets in the process. Lovely bowling by Ilupitia. Has just given away 2 runs. Bowling his second over. 1 for 5. Shakur on strike. Big hit, but towards long off. Just a single. Lakjiv or Chancellor has his man. Skipper departs. Tossed up. No pace. And goes on with the arm. Captain departs and the team is in a bit of bother. Lovely ball again by Chanchala Vimalavardhana. 100 for 6. Poor cricket. Should have kept for just a single. Just a single again. Good bit of bowling by Chanchala Vimalavardhana. Western Tigers reeling at 103 for 6. They need a partnership. Atif on 3. Purna, who's walked in, scored 3 as well. This time Apesh towards the vacant sweeper car region. Western Tigers need to re-strategize their targets. They need to look at least get into that 150 run mark. Chanchala on the other hand, and Bolton Blasters need to ensure that they finish off this innings under 150 runs and as early as possible. Good bit of feet usage. So the 7th wicket falls. Ilupitia gets his second wicket. 19th over in progress, and a massive collapse as far as Western Tigers are concerned. They were looking healthy at one point when Malit Bimsara was out there in the middle. But the introduction of Ilupitia and the left arm spinner has completely changed the course of the game. And right now, things are looking extremely well for the Bolton Blasters. New batsman Tilanka out in the middle. A repeat of the previous delivery. Good delivery by Ilupitia. Bowling his third, just given away 7 runs. So Atif will be on strike. Chanchala will continue. He too has bowled 2 overs for 7 runs. This time nicely played over extra cover. Wonderful shot by Atif. Pouncing on that fuller delivery outside off stump. Chanchala is better suited if he opts to bowl a lot straighter. On occasion, outside off stump, wide, asking the batsman to come after him. Much better delivery, a good follow-up delivery. No chance of a single. Kept on coming on with the arm. Again, nicely driven. Just a single. Sri Lanka misses out on that opportunity. Outside leg stump. A little bit of bat, and that would have fetched him a boundary. Chanchala, another good delivery. Sri Lanka, wild swing across the line. That's what Chanchala wants the batsman to do. Tosses it up, asking the batsman to go across the line. This time, poor delivery on the pads, helped along the vacant fine leg region. This time, Sri Lanka connects. Boundary to end the proceedings. 20 overs gone, 116 for 7. Oh, lucky Ilupitia bowling his 4th over. Almost had his man there outside of stump. Atif plays it up pishly. Sweeper cover. Chanchala, who's feeling at sweeper cover, had that opportunity to collect it cleanly. And we see Sri Lanka being adventurous, scooping it over fine leg for a boundary. It's still not the power play, but he has quickly pounced on the fact that the fine leg was brought in, uses the pace and the little bit of bounce on offer and helps it along the fine leg region for a boundary. A big hit. Wonderful batting by Sri Lanka. Pretty certain he is the impact player being brought into this lineup. Lovely hit by Sri Lanka. Pressure is on. Wickets have tumbled, but he's come out with a purpose. And with just 4 overs left, he's going after the bowling. A 4 and a 6. Ilupitia feeling the pressure. Oh, lucky. Thickish inside edge. Pulls towards deep mid wicket. Just a single. So one more delivery left in the 4th over. Bowled by Ilupitia. 21st over in progress. A good over for the Western Tigers. Bolton Blasters pursuing with Ilupitia. This time short, played on the back foot towards the sweeper cover region. So the left arm spinner, Chanchala, will continue. And he has his man. Tilanka departs. Chanchala has his third wicket. There we see tossed up, cross-batted heave and inside edge onto the stumps. Chanchala knew the slow he bowls, the batsman will go across the line, and that's what they did. Very well bowled by Chanchala Vimalavardhana. Came in late into the attack, but completely changed the course of the game. Ilupitiya and Vimalavardhana have both strung in some very good overs out in the middle, and at the moment Western Tigers 130 for the loss of 8 wickets. New batsman Ubasha has walked in. Starts off well, played towards long on for a single. Another flighted delivery. That should be the 4th wicket for Chanchala Vimalavardhana. Fabulous spell of bowling. Again, there you see, comes in, well flighted, asking the batsman to hit. Batsman obliges, but up in the air and well held at the long off region. And that's the 9th wicket down. Western Tigers 131 for 9. 22nd over in progress. Oh, thickish outside edge. They should have had the slip fielder. 2 runs for Western Tigers. 131 for 9. Chanchala 4 wickets. Should have had that extra slip fielder. Still no change. The last man on strike. Dinesh on the back foot, straight towards extra cover. No run. Last ball of the over. Can he finish this spell with another wicket? Get his 5th wicket. A 5-wicket haul. This time again, powerfully played. Wonderful shot. Bit of greed by the bowler on the shorter side and powerfully played on the back foot by the last man, Dinesh. No chance of the sweeper cover fielder to prevent that boundary. So score moves to 137 for the loss of 9 wickets. 22 overs gone. Good running. 2 runs for Obasha. Score moves to 139 for 9. They need the more recognized Obasha to play a few shots. Nicely played on the front foot. Brings Dinesh on strike. Mayur Malshan bowling his 4th. Big hit. Big hit. That's out of here. On paper, he may be the last man, but the last 2 shots that he's played have fetched Western Tigers 10 runs. Previous delivery was powerfully played on the back foot towards sweeper region. This time, shorter delivery again. Off spinner bowling, and he powers it over deep mid wicket for a 6. There we see. Wonderful hit. Again, powerfully driven. Short and powerfully punched, but straight to the fielder. $147 for 9. Lovely drive. Again, over extra cover. That should be a boundary. Yes, indeed. It's a lovely shot by Obasha. This is not good bowling. Just coming and bowling medium pace. Wonderfully played. Need to give credit to the batsman as well. So end of 23, 151 for 9. Chanchana bowling his 5th and final over. The batsman opting for the mandatory batting power play with just 2 overs left. So you've got a long off and a deep mid wicket in place. Chanchala bowling. Nicely bowled again. Came on with the arm. These two have put on a decent partnership for the final wicket. Nicely bowled again. Another big hit. That should fetch another boundary. Yes, indeed. Wonderful fight by Dinesh, the last man coming into the party. So these are bonus runs for Western Tigers. 153 for 9, 157 for 9. A wild swing this time. lot quicker. 1 wicket left in this Western Tiger innings. Chanchala requires 1 more wicket to get his 5-wicket haul. Again quicker. He misses out on a 5-wicket haul. Nevertheless, a good spell. 5 overs, 4 wickets for 29 runs. So the final over to be bowled, and it will be... We'll have to wait and see who the bowler is. It will most likely be the captain himself. I beg your pardon, it's Tamidu Hettiarachchi being brought into the attack. Just a solitary over. This time bowls with the pink ball. A single to start proceedings. Another wonderful hit. Over mid-off. Couple of bouncers. Dinesh. Flexing his arms. Walked in last man with a point to prove. And there we see some lusty blows. These are bonus runs. Can this make a difference? We'll have to wait and see. At one point, it looked as if they were going to be shot out under 150 runs. Oh, he missed out on a run-out chance as well. Poor cricket. Bit of adventure, bit of aggression, and sadly see the lapses in the field as well. 164 for 9. They would have taken it in the midway point. Nicely played again. Again, there's a run-out chance. This time, he's gone. So the innings, 25th over, it ends at 164 for 9. Dinesh, with a well-compiled 24 of 11 deliveries, made the difference, along with Obasha, who's on 9. We'll have to wait and see whether it's sufficient. But for the time being, I'm sure Western Tigers will be content with what they've got. At one point, it seemed as if they'll be all out under 135 runs. But the last wicket partnership has meant that the Bolton Blasters will have a run chase in excess of 6 runs per over. That's what we've got. Bolton Blasters need 165 runs in 25 overs. Little over 6.5 runs per over. And with the batting power play also option available, this is very chaseable. So we'll have to see the summary, the scorecard. That'll be up shortly. Put into bat, Malit Bimsara kept the innings together with a well-compiled half-century. Prasad Dasankaratnayaka, at one point there was a very good partnership for the second wicket. He made 23, and then the collapse. Rahman didn't trouble the scorers. Vidyaratna, Atif got into double figures. And then you see at the bottom, Dinesh Ranganakumara with a fighting 24. along with Obasha Totavatta, who came in at number 10. They put on a quick fire 30-odd run partnership for the last wicket. Bowling, the skipper Tisara Veerasinghe started off proceedings well. Bharatiya Hettiarachchi was a little expensive, especially in the fourth over. Mayura was expensive, but then you've got Ilupitiya and Chanchala Vimalavardhan, the pick of the bowlers. 4 overs for 22 and 5 overs for 29 with 2 and 4 wickets apiece, along with Koshendra Fernando captured a couple of wickets. The real break started when Ilupitiya and Vimalavardhana was brought into the attack. So put into bat. The first delivery fetched them a boundary with the opener, and then that was Samit Ruberu getting out. A few lusty blows by the opener, the left-handed opener, the pick of the batsman with a half century. Wonderful hits. That was another beautiful hit over the bowlers. Anything short, he quickly pounced on. There was a passage of play in which he slowed down. Some meaty blows. And at this point, Western Tigers were looking at 180 to 200 run mark. Lovely use of the feet. That was the trigger for the Bolton Blasters to get back into the game, and that was a first ball wicket. Some powerful hits, sloppy fielding, followed up with another boundary. So at this point, again, things were looking well until Ilupitiya was brought into the attack along with Chanchala. This was the passage of play in which Bolton Blasters got into the game. A highlight of wickets. Ilupitiya in particular didn't look threatening, but those two did bowl well. Very good partnership for the last wicket. Some adventurous play. That was a big hit. Again, Chanchala came into the attack, got rid of the danger man. Another wicket to go with a 4-wicket haul, well fielded in the deep. And then the last man came into the party, made a quick fire 24 runs of 11 deliveries. Can this make the difference? We'll have to wait and see. If not for that 33-run last wicket partnership, this would have been relatively easy chase. However, that final wicket partnership has given the Western Tigers a target to defend. We'll take a small break and we'll be back with Western Thunders trying to defend this 164 target. Welcome back. The chase is on. Bolton Blasters require 165 runs. Purna will start proceedings for the Western Tigers. They need some early wickets, Western Tigers, but in the meantime, Bolton Blasters need a solid start. Little over 6 runs per over, 6.5 runs per over is required. Some steady cricket, sensible cricket should get them home. Bolton Blasters only require 165 runs. Oh, lovely hit. Beautiful hit. On the up. Nothing wrong with the delivery apart from it being a little outside off stump. But wonderful start by Mayura. Outside off stump. Played on the up. Along the ground. What a start. The first delivery was dispatched for a boundary when Western Tigers were batting in their first essay, and Bolton Blasters have followed suit. First delivery dispatched for a boundary. Another foolish delivery, this time a lot straighter. Thisara, the skipper, opens the bowling and opens the batting. Started off well. There we go. The third delivery again, a wild swing. Hits the inside edge onto the wicket. Fortunately, not onto the stumps. Looking to hit a little too hard. Misses out completely. But the intent has been quite strong. Positive intent showcased by Thisara. This time short, the wild swing, parked on the front foot. Thisara, bit of bounce. The wicket keeper juggles it, rushed onto him, but kept the eyes on the ball, collected it eventually. So Purna Prabhat has made the adjustment. Another short delivery, this time beautifully played. Misfield out in the deep. There was a sweeper placed, but Thisara, wonderful shot. Short, but he went onto the front foot, connected it cleanly and sweetly. Should have been held. But misjudgment out in the deep gives an easy 4 runs. So Bolton Blasters have started off quite strongly in the chase of 165. That's thrashed. Past mid-off for a boundary. First over is done and dust. The 12 runs on the board for Bolton Blasters. That was uppish. 0 attempt by the mid-off fielder. A dive, and anything could have happened. Nevertheless, 12 off that first over. Chase is on. Bolton Blasters are trying to get this chase under control, bring it under the 6-run required rate as early as possible. Bowling change, Sandun Bandara brought into the attack. off spinner. Bowling to the left-handed. Nicely bowled. Mayura on strike. Quite easily. The only delivery we've seen so far bowled, I think I can confidently say, being the pick of the spinners I've seen today. Lovely bowling by Sandhu Bandara. Oh, beautifully played. Weighted and transferred his weight onto the back foot. Pierces that field. Gets a boundary. So 4 boundaries to kickstart the chase. 9 deliveries, 4 boundaries. Lovely bit of bowling, but equally well played by Mayura. Gets a single, brings Thisara, the skipper, on strike. Right-handed Thisara against the right arm off spin of Sandhu Bandara. Bandara might opt to go round the wicket to the right-handed batsman Thisara. 17 runs on the board. Nicely bowled again on the pads, but equally well played by Thisara. Gets a single. Another couple more runs. And end of the second over. Bolton Blasters well placed at 19 for the loss of 0 wickets. Straight away, spin from both ends. Prasad Asankaratnayaka been brought into the attack. Batted well. Oh, delicately played. Wonderful shot. Mayura using the pace. Prasad Asanka fired it in left arm. And even with the slip in place, Mayura just delicately placed it towards short third. Wonderful hit. Smart batting by Mayura. Wonderful shot. Waited and just tapped it all along the ground. The slip is off. Conventional field. Again fires it in. Mayura equal to the task. Plays on the front foot. Nothing fancy. Playing on merit. Loud appeal. Umpire unmoved, indicating that it was moving past the leg stump. Pitched outside the leg stump as well. Nicely played on the front foot. Beautifully played. Beautiful timing and placement. Fires it in. Prasada Sankaratnayaka. Mayura dealt it very effectively. Treated him like a fast bowler. Wonderful transfer of weight all along the ground. Beautiful shot. The placement was key. The timing even better. Mayura moves to 14. Tisara 13. It's been a good start. Again on the front foot. Lovely bit of batting by Mayura. Risk-free cricket by both these batsmen. 3 overs gone. 27 for no loss. Oh, another misfield. That should have been held long on. The guilty party. Sandhu did everything right. Wonderfully bowled. Tisara took the bait, came down the track. Didn't connect cleanly. Easy catch. Misjudged out in the deep. The chance goes begging. Bimsara, the half centurion, on that instance, dropping a very crucial chance. We'll have to wait and see whether it's costly. Sandhu Bandara bowling his second over. Should have had his man. Nicely bowled again. Lucky. Sandhu Bandara's bowling very well, but unfortunately for him, doesn't have the luck on his side. Wonderfully bowled. Thickish outside edge. Oh, this time, wonderful shot. Tisara gives himself some room. Goes straight. This in occasion. Wonderful shot. There we see. Gives himself some room. Frees his arm and goes back past the bowler for a 6. This time goes on with the arm, misses it completely. Tisara has moved along nicely to 25. This partnership, 4th over in progress, 39 and the required run rate under 6. Bandara slows it down. Equally well played by Tisara. Down the track. Wonderful hit again. The other side. That drop catch proving very costly. He should have had the man. The first delivery of this over ended up giving away 16 runs. Tisara 31 off 13. Mayura departs. Prasad Asanka Ratnayaka gets his first wicket. Right outside off stump. Shot. Interesting to see whether he had an edge. But nevertheless he departs. First wicket down. 45 runs on the board. Fifth over in progress. Brings the left-hander Tarak on strike. Starts off firing it in. Lovely shot. Beautifully played. Asanka keeps on firing it in. Moment it's fuller. Outside off stump. Provides the pace for the batsman to help it along the ground. Wonderful shot. Beautiful hit all along the ground, and that fetches him a boundary to kickstart his innings. He's off the mark, up and running. 49 for the loss of one wicket. Two more deliveries left in this spell. The first power play in progress. Quicker again. Played on the front foot. End of 5 overs, 49 for 1. Bowling change, pace being reintroduced. End of the power play. Slip fielder. Bit of attacking move by the skipper. They need the wickets. They need to get into the middle order as soon as possible. Taraka and Tisara, the captain on strike, gives him room, gives himself some room. Can't pierce that offside field. Umesh, the bowler. Lovely shot again. Wonderful hit. Tisara pierces that offside with a beautiful cover drive. Perfect balance. He's on a roll. The skipper come out with purpose. And not afraid to play shots. Give himself some room. Loves that cover drive. Finds the gap. Wonderful shot. This time, Umesh bangs it short, gets the outside edge over the slip region for a boundary. Fortune favours the brave. Batsman gave himself some room, wants to access that offside region. Umesh adjusts it, bangs it short, but unfortunately for him, gets the thickish outside edge. The slip fielder was removed the previous delivery, and in that instance, it went where he would have been normally placed. Again, Apish towards long off for a single. Bimsara fields. Tisara moves to 40 off 17 deliveries. Brings Taraka, the left-handed batsman, on strike. 6th over in progress. Bolton Blasters moving along nicely. 58 for the loss of 1 wicket. 6th over in progress. Lovely shot again, powerfully driven towards sweeper. So 10 runs off the first 5 deliveries. Score has moved to 59 for the loss of 1 wicket. 6th over in progress. Oh dear, oh dear. No ball called and helped along towards fine leg for a boundary. The fine leg was up in the circle, not the area to bowl. Tisara just helped himself to another boundary. He moves to 44. Bolton Blasters have raced to 64 off the first 6 overs they've faced. The chase requires 101 runs off 115 deliveries. And a free hit incoming. Oh, again, he favors that offside region. A misfield and a boundary. Powerfully hit by Tisera. Outside off stump. Thrashed on the front foot. Not well fielded out in the deep. Comedy Veras features another boundary. So end of 6 overs. Bolton Blasters 68 for the loss of 1 wicket. Taraka on strike. Again fires it in. Prasad Ratnayaka has captured the wicket. Well fielded by Prasad Ratnayaka. No chance of a single. Lovely bit of wrist work. Quick. All he needed was to use the pace and find the gap. That he did. Gets another boundary. Wonderful batting. Again, quickish. Straight towards the extra cover. No chance of a single. Straight to the fielder again. So 4 deliveries, 4 runs scored. Batsman, nothing to panic. They have got just 93 runs required of 109. Again, shot. Again, thrashed on the back foot. Will it fetch a boundary? Yes, indeed. Again, the result is the same. Quick, fast, but batsman giving himself some room and piercing that offside field. Fast outfield means that the fielders have no chance. All what the batsman requires is to find the gap and time it to perfection. Nothing working for the Western Tigers, and that has prompted the captain to bring himself on. So Shakur will bowl the 8th over. Lot slower, but Tesara prefers pace on the delivery. Shakur Yunus, off spinner, the skipper himself. Nicely played. Moves to 49. Good batting by Tisera. Slight adjustment to the field brings the left-handed Taraka on strike. Outside off stump. Left alone by Taraka. Is expecting the umpire to give a wide, well inside the crease. This time tosses it up, driven powerfully towards the sweeper region, just a single. The skipper has started off well. Just a couple of runs in the 4 deliveries he's bowled. Thisara inching towards that milestone. That's the 50. A well compiled, aggressive 50 by the skipper Thisara. The job is not done yet. Bowled well. Started off the innings. Rarely do we see an opening fast bowler opening the batting. The key player for the Bolton Blasters. Slow punched on the back foot, should fetch a couple of runs. Thisara seems to be tiring out in the middle. Opts for just a single. Eight overs completed, 80 for 1. Full toss, Malit Bimsara. He's been dispatched towards deep mid wicket for a boundary. Bowled well, but starts off with a freebie and rightfully dispatched towards mid wicket by Taraka. Much better delivery, but well played by Taraka. He moves to 20, brings Thisara on strike. A wild hoik. Fortunately, inside edge all along the ground towards deep mid wicket. Single. He moves to 51. Seems to be tiring out in the middle. May look for a couple of lusty blows. On the pads, worked nicely towards deep fine leg. Should fetch him a couple of runs. Lovely throw, but Tharaka was committed to the second run. And the first run fast. And managed to get in easily. A good throw by Sandun, fielding out in the deep sky leg region. But batsman was well in. Again towards that deep sky leg region. Sweeps it. Couple of bouncers. End of 9. 89 for 1. Shakur will continue. Oh, stumping chance. Goes begging. Down the track. Missed it. Completely lost the flight. Punches it off the back foot for a single and brings Tharak on strike. So the captain versus captain battle out there. Thisara, he's moved to 51 off 23. Shakur bowling his second over. So far has given away just 5 runs. Tharaka scans the field. Thisara rather. Shot, powerfully played. Back past the bowler. Wonderful hit. The captain versus captain battle heats up with Thisara 1, Shakur 0. Lovely hit. Powerfully played all along the ground. He knew where the gap was. Slight hold up in play until the ball was found. We'll start proceedings again. 3 more deliveries left in the 10th over. Lovely hit again. That is a wonderful shot. Used the feet. Came to the pitch of the delivery. The long on was brought into the field, into the 30-yard circle. Wonderful shot. Driven past the bowler all along the ground. Fetches another boundary. Bolton Blasters 98 for 1. Just 67 runs required in 15 overs. Fires it in. Quick single. Very good batting. So 65 more needed in 15 overs. Bolton Blasters on a rampage. End of 10, 100 for 1. Starts off with a boundary. Lovely hit. Inside out. Takes on the bowler. They've maneuvered the field very well. They found the gap. They've hit it to the gap. And at the moment, risk-free cricket. Very smart cricket by the Bolton Blasters. 104 for 1. Going at a very healthy run rate as well. Slow this time. Waits for it. Helps it towards deep mid-wicket. Gone this time. Tilanka Harsha has his man. Tisara was tiring and was looking for some quick runs. Made a well compiled 60 of 29 deliveries. Finally, they've held on to a catch. And Tisara departs 60 of 26 deliveries. He's done his part. Unless there is a massive collapse, which I highly doubt. Bolton Blasters are well ahead in the game. Just 4 runs per over required. They're going along nicely at 10 runs per over. 60 more needed. From a Western Tigers point of view, they need to regroup, get in 1 or 2 early breakthroughs, and then hope for the best. And number 4 batsman Anjana has walked in, right-handed batsman. He'll face Tilanka Harsha, who's got 2 more deliveries left. Anjana off the mark. Taraka on strike. He's on 30 of 25 deliveries. Again, driven on the front foot. Smart batting by Taraka. He knows the chase is under control. 58 more needed in 84 deliveries. 107 for 2. End of 11. Skipper Shakur will continue. Taraka starts off with a single. Brings Anjana on strike. Another single. Brings the left-handed batsman. They've got the left-hand, right-hand combination going. Shakur bowling his third. Slows it, plays on the back foot towards extra cover. Again, not fielded cleanly. Nicely played. That was a lot quicker than the previous deliveries. But the feature of this batting chase by Bolton Blasters have been the way in which they've maneuvered the ball into the gaps. That delivery too was short. Normally a batsman would have gone at it. Anjana, fresh to the crease, was smart enough to just use the pace and gently play it towards short third region. Gets a boundary to kickstart his innings. He's on 6 of 3 deliveries. Slows it, not collected cleanly off the follow through, and the leg umpire calls for a free hit and no ball. Pretty certain it's got to do with the number of fielders out in the boundary. A free hit, a freebie, and Taraka, the right-handed batsman, can capitalize. They can afford to change the field. They've brought in the deep square leg into the 30-yard circle. Shakur Yunus will probably slow it down. He fires it in and powerfully hit straight to the fielder. Just a single. Not a big damage done. Nevertheless, Bolton Blasters 117 for 2, end of 12 overs. Tilanka Harsha will continue. Nicely played by Anjana. Gets a single. This time fielded well at the extra cover region. Beautifully played. Gets a boundary. He moves to 38 of 30 deliveries. Apesh, couple of bouncers, just a single. 124 for 2, 125 for 2 in 12.5 overs. Going at almost 10 runs per over. Stops and delivers slow. Gets the outside edge. Ends the 13th over. 125 for 2. Malik Bimsara brought into the attack. Just a solitary over. Starts off well, but very well played by Anjana. Inside out. Malik Bimsara got his line right, but little outside off stump. No fielder there. Beautifully played. Nicely played again on the back foot, but straight to the fielder. Again on the front foot. Easy picking, easy batting by these two. Wonderful chase so far by the Bolton Blasters. Got the start they needed from the captain, but it's been smart cricket throughout the 14 overs Bolton Blasters have played. Nicely bowled again. Not collected cleanly by the wicket keeper. Wonderful bit of bowling by Malik Bimsara. Slows it. Gets the ball to dip on the batsman. Batsman not up to the pitch of the delivery. This time waits for the ball to come onto the bat. Helps it towards the deep mid wicket. Bit of fancy footwork. The batsman was preparing just for a single, but it was well hit into the gap, and the fielder finally managed to get his foot to prevent a boundary. Bimsara tosses it up this time. Driven. Just a single. I'm sorry. No chance of a single. End of 14 overs, 132 for 2. big hit, but doesn't clear the boundary. Anjana departs. Can this open up an avenue for the Western Tigers to creep in? Bolton Blasters only need 33 runs. Tilanka Harsha with his second wicket bowled a bit of leg spin, teasing the batsman to go after him. So Anjana departs for 14. 3 wickets down with 132 on the board. Koshendra comes on to bat. 3 wickets down, 132 on the board. Just risk-free cricket required. 33 runs to chase. Tilanka Harsha bowling. And then, that is a sitter. That's the wicket they needed. There we go. Harsha runs in. Outside off stump, a swipe. That is an absolute sitter dropped. The cover point region. No one else to blame. The skipper himself. Stops and bowls. Plenty of air on the back foot. Waits. Koshendra lucky to survive. He's off the mark. That wicket may have brought in the jitters. 7 wickets left. Only 4 fielders in field. Pretty certain wickets are required, and they need to bring in a extra fielder and add some pressure onto the batsman. They need Taraka's wicket, and with the new batsman in, they can bring in an extra fielder or two. Ask the batsman to take the risk, and anything could happen. At the moment, 31 required of 10 overs. Very well bowled again. So Tilanka Harsha ends another successful over. 3 overs gone, 16. He's captured 2 wickets, so 15 overs gone, 134 for 3. Sandun Bandara into the attack. Better bowler than what the scoreboard reads. Very unfortunate. He should have had his man, the skipper. But drop catchers have been very costly as far as Western Tigers are concerned. The fielding has been quite poor. Nicely bowled, but uses the feet. Big hit. Koshendra has had enough. Another batsman given a life. Sandun Bandara, lot slow in the air. Koshendra uses his feet. Wonderful shot. Straight. Risk free. The moment you hit straight, there's plenty of value for the shots. Better follow-up delivery, but again, inside edge. The required runs, just 21 of 9 overs. Abdur Rahman brought into the attack. Outside off stump. Checks his run up. No pace for the batsman to work with. Again, sloppiness. Rather unnecessary throw, which the wicketkeeper couldn't collect cleanly. What should have been a dot ball, it's costed a single. Abdur Rahman bowling similar to Iluk Pitia, who made that change, made the difference when Western Tigers were batting. He, along with the left arm spinner, brought the mini collapse in the middle phase of the game. Abdur Rahman again, gentle medium pace batsman, not used to this slowness. Again, slow, but punched on the front foot by Taraka. Gets a single. So just 2 runs off the first 4 deliveries bowled by Abdur Rahman. Koshendra is on 10. Again, very slow punched on the back foot by Koshendra. I think the slowness of the bowler, the cover point region, can get a lot straighter. Batsman waits and powers it towards deep square leg. Just a single. End of a tight over by Abdul Rahman, but only 17 runs needed of 8 more overs. Just the formalities. Shakur, the skipper, ringing in the changers. He'll probably bowl this over. Yes. The power play is being taken. Pink ball is in the hands of the skipper. Shakur. Just 2 fielders out in the deep mid wicket. And a long on. Taraka, who's on 46 on strike. Wide called. Shakur firing it in. All what the batsman needs is just to find the gap, and find he does. That's a well compiled half century by Taraka. He can finish this off. Just 3 more hits. 12 runs required. Very smart batting and good tactics as well to opt for the power play again. Finds the gap, finds another boundary. Very good batting. Bowler opting to come over the wicket. Taraka gave himself some room and finds that gap. Wonderful batting by Taraka. Adjustment in the field. Mid-on. Comes in and sweeper drops down. Batsman tries to find that gap with the straighter fielders up in the circle. Didn't connect it cleanly. This time he connects. This time it's out of the park. Just 1 hit away. Crushing defeat for the Western Tigers. Just a matter of deliveries, just a blow away. It's been a wonderful, clinical chase by the Bolton Blasters. 163 for 3. The batting has been spot on. A lot of intent, a lot of wonderful batting, a lot of thought behind the stroke play. Shakur Yunus, the skipper. His bowling figures has got a dent. 6-4-4 and a wide 15 runs off these few deliveries. And next delivery is powered through the offside. They picked the power play and they completed the chase in style. Taraka is unbeaten on 60. Wonderful innings. The skipper led from the front. Quick fire, 60 off 26 deliveries. The batsman making short work of this chase. The masterful chase indeed. Bolton Blasters blasting away to victory. led by the captain, and Taraka is unbeaten on 64 of 47 deliveries. Bolton Blasters win by 7 wickets. A crushing defeat for the Western Tigers, the champions of the 4th edition, being put to task by this wonderful Bolton Blasters side. Collectively, they outplayed the opponents. The batting scorecard. The skipper led from the front. 27 deliveries for his 60. 10 boundaries and 2 sixers. Mayura Malshan made 14. Number 3 batsman Taraka Madhuanta was unbeaten on 64 of 47 deliveries. Anjan Aberatna 15. Koshendra Fernando 11. All batsmen getting into double figures. All batsmen dominating, especially Thisara Veerasinghe and Taraka Madhuanta. Bowling, nothing much to write of. Prasad Asankaratnayaka got a wicket. Tilanka Harsha was the pick of the bowlers. Captured 2 wickets of the 3 overs he bowled. But the rest were found wanting and couldn't penetrate into this wonderful Bolton Blasters lineup. Well, chase started off on a positive note. First delivery was smacked past mid-off for a boundary. That set the tone. The first over was dispatched for 12 runs. A couple of misfields. The fielding was quite mediocre. Some relatively easy chances were dropped. Batsman made short work. That was a delicate shot using the pace. The highlight was how smart the batting was. They found the gap, pierced it with relative ease, and that was the skipper getting lucky. It was a better hit, clean hit, straight back past the bowler. He was dropped, but he made maximum use of it, and that was a wicket to fall. And every batsman who walked in played freely. A wonderful drive again. The edges were healthy enough to fetch them boundaries. That over 2 was a very costly over, another misfield. The fielding was pretty poor, diving all over, missing very easy chances. The batsman ensured that they could rub salt into the wounds. Full tossers were dispatched and the chase was clinical. The captain getting to his 15 style, and the number 3 batsman playing it smartly. Plenty of boundaries and sixers. That was Thisara, the skipper, getting out caught at long off. And then the feature of this innings was how they maneuvered the ball. They found the gap wonderfully well, and they used this fast outfield to good effect. Brilliant batting or clinical hitting, no slogging, proper cricket shots. The quest for quick runs, there were a couple of wickets that fell, but ultimately it got to the target with relative ease in the 18th over. That final over costing almost 18 runs, and that was the end of the innings. The final delivery dispatched towards extra cover fittingly, and Bolton Blasters win by 7 wickets. Summary of the second game played. Western Tigers were put into bat, made 164 all out in the 25th over. Malik Bimsara top scored with a well-compiled half-century. The last man, Dinesh Ranganakumara, scored 24. Prasad Dasankaratnaga made 23. The pick of the bowlers, Chanchala Vimalavardhana, got 4 wickets off the 5 overs he bowled. Koshendra Fernando got a couple of wickets, and Lakjeev Ilupitia took a couple more. Bolton Blasters in the chase blasted their way towards this target. They win by 7 wickets. Taraka Madhuvanta was unbeaten on 64. Tisara Veerasinghe, the skipper, led from the front and scored a quick 60 off 27 deliveries. Thilanka Harsha was the pick of the bowlers for Western Tigers, but was of no use in the end. The Bolton Blasters blasting away to a 7-wicket win over Western Tigers. So that concludes today's proceedings. Lancashire Premier League Season 5, the 25-over tournament. The 10th game comes to an end. And thank you very much for our viewers being with us. And we will have another couple of games tomorrow. Stay tuned for the 5th season of the Lancashire Premier League.